up, everybody? Today we're going to show you how to flush a cooling system. There may be several reasons why you want to do this. Maybe you changed a coolant hose or your thermostat, or it's just time to put some fresh coolant in there, but the steps are the same regardless. So we'll go ahead and show you step by step what you need to do. So for starters, I'll go ahead and pull off your radiator cap so that it can breathe. Got that guy right there. And then down here, it may look different on different bikes, but right here's your bleeder for your coolants located on your water pump. Some may be underneath, a lot of them are right here. It just depends on the bike and the year. So we'll go ahead and crack that open and start draining the coolant. The ones located on the bottom are actually better because it doesn't shoot out like this, but here's what it is. Mine's mostly water right now anyway. After that finishes draining, we'll move on to the next step. Secondly, you would want to pull off your coolant reservoir, your overflow, and empty out whatever's in there. I don't have anything in there right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to the next step. Alright guys, so all the coolants, well, slash water for my bike is drained out. What you can do also is go ahead and shake the bike a little bit and try and tilt it over. Helps if you have another person, because they can do it while you're trying to balance the bike. And after it's all done, just go ahead and put your bleeder screw back on, tighten it up, and then next it's time to fill up the coolant. All right, so next we have our coolant. There's several brands that you can use. This is the one I have, seems to work pretty well. This is a 64-ounce bottle. It typically takes about 1 1/4, maybe 1 1/2 of these. So we'll go ahead and pour these in until it's full. Alright guys, now we're gonna start pouring in the coolant. Get yourself a funnel. Some of these bikes, it's really hard to get to. So if you have a nice long funnel, it helps. Just go ahead and start pouring. Once you get like maybe 3/4 or a full bottle, go ahead and start filling it slow so you don't waste any coolant and have it start pouring out of the radiator. Sounds like it's starting to get full. Yep, there we go. Filled it a little too much. No worries though, just a little bit of coolant. Alright, go ahead and pull out your funnel. Next thing you're gonna wanna do, you're gonna wanna leave this open. Leave your radiator cap off. You're gonna wanna start your bike. And you're gonna wanna let it run for a few minutes, let it get up to temperature. You'll start to see the coolant flowing, and what it's going to do is it's going to start to pull it down and push it into the system. And the whole point of this is to try and get rid of any air in the system, because if you have air in the system, you're going to fight a lot of issues. You're going to start burping coolant out of your overflow, and it's a mess. So just go ahead and let it run, let it get up to temperature, and once we see it start to pull it down, we'll go ahead and stop the bike, let it cool down for a bit, and top off and do it again. So as you guys can see, all those bubbles coming up, that's actually air in the system. So if you weren't to do this, you would have air in the system, and then the air pressure is gonna build up, and it's got to push the coolant somewhere, so it's gonna push it straight out of your overflow. And then you're gonna have to add more coolant, and coolant's pretty expensive. So now we're just gonna go ahead and let the bike cool down. It should go ahead and pull a little bit more coolant, and once it's cooled off a little bit, we'll add some more. Alright, so as you guys can see, didn't really go down a whole lot. So we're gonna run it again and see if any more air bubbles come out. If not, then we're pretty much good from there. So as you guys can see, we had some more bubbles come up, which means there was still air in the system. And that's why if it's a bit low, I wouldn't worry about it, because it's gonna build back up just like it did here. So you're just gonna end up dumping all that coolant anyways. So you definitely want it below the cap, even maybe slightly below the top of the radiator. So that way when this does happen, you're not just pouring coolant out. And we still got a couple of bubbles coming out, so should be good after this. We'll go ahead and put the radiator cap back on, and then your next and final step is to fill up your overflow reservoir, and then that's pretty much it. All right guys, the last and final step, go ahead and fill up your overflow. You're gonna wanna bring it to about this line here. Keep going. Keep going. And that's perfect. All right, then you just go ahead and put your cap back on, and that's it. The system should be fully flushed and new coolant, and you guys are good to go. If you guys have any questions, just let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to walk you through them.